Warning 1. The vertical module is a product containing tension springs. To operate it safely, please make sure to watch this video carefully. Using the product without following the directives can create hazards. Warning 2. When the vertical module is attached to your slider, do not remove the motor module from your slider and keep it attached at all times. Modifying motor module. Before using or setting up the vertical module, you must first modify the motor module. The required parts for this modification are included with the vertical module: the motor tension wheel and gear tension piece. The modification involves replacing these two parts with the current parts on motor module. This modification is simple and only needs to be done once. Attaching motor tension wheel. To attach the motor tension wheel, first remove the plastic cover from the motor module. Then, use an Allen wrench to remove the current tension screw completely. Now you can manually screw and tighten the new tension wheel in its place. This piece allows you to easily engage or disengage the motor module. Attaching gear tension piece. To replace the gear tension piece, first locate the current piece on the side of the motor module and remove it with an Allen key. Since there is a spring beneath it, hold the part with your hand to prevent it from flying off. Once removed, put it aside with the spring that came with it. Screw in the new gear tension piece using the Allen key. Notice the second adjustment screw on the piece. For now, do not make any adjustments on this screw. Why and how this adjustment is used will be explained in the troubleshooting section of this video. With the modification on your motor module done, now we're ready to set up the vertical module. Modifying Slider Plus. Before using the vertical module, you must first modify the Slider Plus. The required parts for this modification are included with the vertical module: belt wheel raisers and extended geared belt. This modification is simple and only needs to be done once. To attach the wheel raisers, first remove the magnetic clip on the inclined side of Slider Plus. Then remove the wheels. Peel the stickers and stick them one by one inside the wheel slots. Using a pair of tweezers may help with this process. After completing this part, it is time to replace the belt. First, lay Slider Plus on its back and remove the belt completely. Remove the magnetic clips from the old belt to the new belt by loosening the screws on them. Now you can snap the new belt on Slider Plus. Fold the loose end of the belt on Slider Plus, and then you can attach the belt wheels back to their slots. Now, loosen the screws on the side pieces. Now you can straighten the belt to the side, turn Slider Plus to its up, and attach the belt back to its slot. We are almost done. Lastly, lift the Slider Plus from its end piece, without touching the rails, letting the belt get tensioned under its own weight. While holding in this position, with your other hand, tighten the screws on the piece you are holding. Do the same for the opposite side. Now your Slider Plus modification is complete. Setting up an inclined shot. Attach the vertical module directly on your tripod. Ensure that the incline wheel is facing you. Next, mount your slider plus on the vertical module. Ensure that the lock button is facing you and the motor module is on the right side. Then, attach the L bracket on your slider plus. And attach the side piece to the left side of your slider plus. Adjusting the incline. Before adjusting the incline, ensure the slider plus is locked. Then you can loosen the incline wheel, set the desired incline, and tighten the wheel. Do the same for the L bracket. Adjust it horizontally and tighten. Now you can attach your manual or motorized camera head on the L bracket with your camera. Now this is the stage where you need to deploy the appropriate number of spring wires to balance the weight. Deploy the spring wires by placing your finger in the ring, pulling them and placing them in their slots on the side piece. After you have attached the springs, first carefully unlock your slider plus, and then carefully loosen the tension wheel on the motor module while supporting the system. If the system balances at a relatively low position, you need to deploy more springs. If it balances too high, you may need to disengage some springs. When you see that the balance is all right, tighten the motor tension wheel, and now you're ready to operate your slider plus. Changing the incline. If you want to change the incline while your camera is attached and the springs are deployed, here are the steps to follow. Before making any changes, ensure that your slider is locked. Also tighten all adjustments on your camera head, forbidding it to move in any direction. Now you can change your incline. Loosen the incline wheel, adjust your incline and tighten the incline wheel back. Make sure it is tightened properly. Now, correct the L bracket angle. Then, make changes to the number of spring if you see necessary. Lastly, carefully unlock the slider and then carefully loosen the tension wheel on the motor module while supporting the system by hand. Check if the system is still balancing in the middle. Add or remove springs if needed. When you achieve the balance, tighten the motor module's tension wheel back. Now you're ready to operate your slider plus with the new set incline. Disassembly. When it's time to dismantle the system, first lock your slider plus. Then remove all camera loads. Then disengage all springs, and finally return the slider plus to its horizontal position. Now it is safe to dismantle the rest of the system as you prefer. Troubleshooting. Dealing with vibrations. When using the vertical module, shallow inclines, high camera loads, and high speeds may cause vibrations to the system. The vertical module works more stable at steeper inclines, lighter camera loads, and lower speeds. If motor module fails to move. If the motor module fails to move, listen to the type of noise it makes. If you hear a sound like this, it means the motor module is skipping gears. In this case, this is where we make the adjustment which we mentioned at the beginning of the video. With an Allen key, turn the screw on the gear tension piece clockwise. After turning it some amount, try operating the motor module and see if it still skips gears. As long as you don't hear the gear skipping noise anymore, your adjustment is sufficient. Another reason the motor module might not move is insufficient power. In this case, you will hear a noise like this. If this is the sound you hear, then you can deploy or disengage springs to or from the system to improve balance. If changing the spring numbers is not making too much difference, then the gear tension in the motor module may be too high. Try loosening the screw on the gear tension piece slightly without allowing the motor module to skip gears again.